All right, this is Jason from Cryptosomniac. I am here with Bruce Silcoff, did I say it correctly, from
You're good.
Shyft.
You're professional.
They are looking to achieve a widespread KYC and AML solution for blockchain, is that correct?
Pretty good.
All right, very
You want a
good.
sales
So,
job?
yeah. So, I mean, obviously this is a thing that is very much needed in the space, especially as security tokens become the norm in the United States. So tell me a little bit about how you got set out onto this endeavor.
Necessity is the mother of invention.
Indeed it is, sir.
It is. There's an epidemic, an identity epidemic going on in this world. Billions of identities are getting stolen. Criminal activity's up. So the need for AML, KYC compliance is up.
Certainly.
So's the problem.
Yep.
Right.
Agreed. I've been the victim of identity theft myself, so I'm
So there you
particularly
go.
interested in this kind of thing.
Well, we keep using the same solution to solve a problem, and it's obviously broken. So in 2005, there were approximately 200 data breaches. 2017, it was over 1,300.
Brutal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's obvious. It's glaring us in the face. I'm traveling the world because there is a desperate need, not only in the States, it's everywhere.
Sure.
So that's why I'm spending 4 days in my home city for the month of June.
So I know that there's several competitors, will say, at least trying to accomplish something similar,
Right.
From Civic for identity to the key and things like that. Those are generally trying to accomplish the identity problem, but you guys are going to try to verify additional stuff. What would you say your key differentiators there beyond other projects that are existing in this space?
There are a number of them, actually. For example, you mentioned Civic. So Civic is a consumer-centric solution. It enables the consumer, the individual, to have control over their identity and use it at participating partners of Civic. But that's only for your identity solution.
Sure.
So we have an identity solution as well, but we also provide KYC, data, and AML information. So we expand just beyond, okay, this is who they say they are. So for example, if you want to rent an apartment,
Sure.
right? It's great to say this is Joe Smith,
Right.
but do I really want him renting my apartment without knowing more about him?
Sure.
So in addition to
Like running a
providing
background check, et cetera.
Exactly. So in addition to providing the identity confirmation, we also provide reputation and credibility scoring
Okay.
for that individual, which is very different.
Certainly.
Okay.
What sort of metrics are you tracking for that?
We're partnering with a team out of MIT and Oxford,
Nice.
leveraging social physics and biometrics to track up to 1,400 behavioral identifiers.
Okay.
So that's game changing. So we will increase the accuracy of identifying people, and we will also increase the accuracy of creditworthiness by 30 to 50%.
That's pretty strong in
That's
an industry
significant.
that has been plagued by, I mean, ultimately, your credit score determines, especially in the United States, determines a significant portion of your access to capital, your access to housing, and potentially even your access to a job. So I can definitely see a use case for that. So I read particularly, I read a few tidbits before we got in on this, and I know another solution, you're trying to bank the unbanked. So
Yes.
tell me a little bit about how you're trying to accomplish that in addition with the identity verification.
Well, that falls in the same bucket as the creditability. There are 3.5 billion people in this world that are either underbanked or unbanked. Leveraging this biometrics and social physics, we could attach credibility to people, which means we can start loaning money.
Sure. Okay.
You know, you look at the United States, the richest country in the world, there are 60 million people in the United States that are categorized as either underbanked or unbanked.
Yeah, sure. Well, between, especially, I mean, migrant workers and things like that, obviously.
That's a problem, and that gets to my next problem. Not only are we solving that with banking problem, we're also providing IDs to the 1.1 billion people in this world that don't have legal ID, which means they don't have access to healthcare, they don't have access to schooling, the right to vote, the right to own property, the right, a lot of rights, essential services lacking for a lot of people, and it happens generation after generation. So if your parents don't have a birth certificate,
Sure,
you can't get a birth certificate.
Right. Yeah.
So where does that end? Someone's got to step up and say, okay, we've got a problem, let's fix it. How do we do that? So we're working with governments, we're working with Bermuda, we're working with St. Lucia, the Philippines, Switzerland, to provide identities to these people.
Okay, I was just going to actually ask that if you had established any partnerships in that way. So that's definitely a step in the right direction.
It's exciting because everyone thinks crypto is all about raising big money fast and getting
Sure.
rich,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, hey, ICOs. Yeah.
But now there's a social component to it, social impact that we're able to do, and that's exciting when you get out of bed in the morning and know you're doing good.
Agreed. I mean, that's half of what I come out of corporate and left what amounts to a pretty lucrative job, but not the most fulfilling thing for something that I'm like, I may be idealistic enough to think that this can actually change the world, and so
Yes.
I have to be part of it. So.
And we're so passionate about it, and passion's contagious.
Yes, indeed.
It really is. We call that crypto with a conscience, actually.
Okay, I like it.
You like?
So tell me a little bit about the actual token metrics. Are you guys, what is it? What blockchain are you building on?
So we're building our own blockchain.
Okay.
So there's another difference between Civic. Civic is a closed
Correct.
application, whereas ours, we're building a foundation similar to Ethereum. So in essence, we're going to mirror the Ethereum model, build our own blockchain, and have dApp application builders build on top of it. So for example, Salt, familiar with Salt, peer-to-peer lending, they're going to build on top of our KYC AML foundation. Exchanges are doing that.
That's what I was going to ask next. Is are you partnering with any exchanges already, or is this something that you're going to? Do you plan to offer this as a service? So say, all right, Binance, you want to get legit. You need to go through KYC now. You can go through this process and then effectively license it out, or.
Pretty much that's what we're doing. Well, it's open source, right? So anyone could build on top of our platform. So we're building the network, the foundation, saying, okay, guys, you want to leverage that? Build your app on top.
Okay.
So it's really exciting. One of the big deals, we're going to be providing KYC, AML to a lot of exchanges. I don't know if I can announce it.
Sure. Of course. Yeah, I don't want to tell you. Can't tell anything that we're not allowed to. So what kind of transaction times are we talking about with your blockchain?
Well, if the data is readily available, it's going to be pretty much as it's ready. So you're going to go ping the network if the data is out there, and that's our job is to build scale. But once we have that scale, the beauty of it is not only is it more secure by leveraging encryption on the blockchain, it's also more efficient time-wise and cost-wise. So if you look at JP Morgan, they hired 13,000 people to manually do KYC.
Sure.
Right, at a cost of $100 US per.
I was going to say, that's just, again, coming from a payroll background, that's a nightmare for your payroll taxes, the benefits that you've got to pay, et cetera, to have to pay individuals to do that, salary benefits, et cetera. It would be nice to be able to have a single source that could automate all of that.
Right. So compliance is a cost of doing business that nobody likes to do. It's a have to do.
Yeah.
So if we can make it more secure, if we can make it more efficient, everybody wants it, and that's what this is all about. We've improved the mousetrap. We've made it more secure. We've made it a fraction of the cost, and we made the data readily available. So when someone asks us what does Shyft do, it's simple. We leverage blockchain technology to create a distributed network for basically securely sharing trusted data. So it doesn't matter what the data is. It could be KYC, it could be AML, it could be, we're talking healthcare.
Sure.
It could be your medical records.
That's what I was going to say, is there's been a number of projects that are trying to accomplish something similar to that with releasing medical data and monetizing your own medical data, or at least being able to securely take it with you. So I suppose you could put any sort of data into this. You've just targeted a specific vertical for adoption.
The lowest hanging fruit, the biggest need out there, we're trying to tackle that problem right away.
Okay.
Then we move on. But every time we go speak at a conference, someone else says, wow, I want to do this for healthcare. I want to do this for voting. I want to do this for social impact.
So are you guys in private sale now? I would assume it's a security token. No?
No.
Interesting.
No, and that SEC ruling was very important.
Yes.
Yeah,
sure.
It was. No, ours is 100% a utility token.
Okay.
We are not doing a public sale.
Okay.
It's all been private. It's all been to strategic partners who are actually going to participate in the network. Okay. So our coin is a transactional currency. To get KYC data, you have to pay using the
The
tokens.
token. Well, that also incentivizes token holders to continue to hold the tokens as well, which
I'm not in the game of valuations of tokens or that. I'm creating a network
yeah.
for people to solve a problem.
Well, that's the most important part about it all.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Well, hey, Bruce, this has been great. I know we've got a number of things to get to here, so.
I could talk all day, but that was good. I got to go speak on stage. So.
Cool. Well, hey, get out there, Tiger.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate it. Oops.